And we should be live, so hit that F5 or jump up and down like, you want to clown around town because you're down without any frowns because it's Thursday. And Thursday means top
Jump.
clack.
Jump. Jump up and get down. I don't remember the lyric. That's probably all I need to know.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
Hope you're all doing sublime. It's the word of the day, by the way.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good myself. It's Thursday. Wow. I feel kind of full because I drank my Monster way too quickly. Not gonna lie, but let's keep drinking.
I feel very full because I just ate a lot of food.
Oof, the responsible life, having dinner, or I guess brunch for you.
Yeah.
I like it.
Trying to not be really hungry during Top Clack anymore, so I'm trying to eat beforehand.
Yeah,
I had a nice little banh mi and some other stuff.
What was your banh mi filled with?
It was grilled pork, grilled chicken, pate, some kind of house-made sauce, then all the usual stuff: pickled daikon, carrot, cucumber, cilantro, and jalapeno.
Solid.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Hey everyone, joining in right now for this episode's Top Clack. The bot has not gone off yet. Still waiting on the bot, I guess, and the
Yeah, which is why we just kind of ramble like this at the start, because it allows people to come in.
top snack. Violet, you got the right idea. You have the right idea. What did I have for I had a big lunch. No, did I have a big lunch? I had In-N-Out today. Pretty good. Just kept it very simple. Just had a double grilled onions, extra toasted bun, on some normal fries because I had like a big ass breakfast burrito this morning. Those like chorizo, potatoes, eggs, grilled pork, which is like, wow, I'm grilled pork and chorizo. Man, this burrito place is going
That
really
sounds
hard.
really heavy.
Yeah, it was really I finished it like at work at my desk like the first thing in the morning. Everyone's staring at me like, what are you doing? Like, you just got in and you're eating a sandwich. I'm like, don't judge me.
Oh wait. So you're eating a breakfast burrito, right? And they call it a sandwich. Good. You have smart coworkers. A burrito is in fact a sandwich. Amazing. Amazing.
Demo, thank you for the very kind wishes. Pepe, I am using clickies. I'll switch keyboards for everyone's ears.
Probably a good idea.
No, I'm not going to switch to that. I need to switch to something that I won't be upset if I spill alcohol on.
You won't be upset to spill alcohol on, huh?
No, I mean I don't spill anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I would be upset if I spilled alcohol on any of my keyboards.
See, if I did, I would just say it's content because I can make a cleaning video that apparently doesn't really exist in our community. It's just like the only thing is just like Ripster's guide from like, the Stone Age.
If I were to make a keyboard cleaning video, like from spilling stuff on it, it would be the greatest video ever, and I would get so much hate on it because I would literally just unplug it and throw it in my bathtub. I'd fill up my bathtub, hot soap water, like I just throw it in there. And you know what? It would be perfect. It'd be clean. I'd take it out, I'd dry it fully, and it would work. Because that's how PCBs are. Anyways, thank you guys all for showing up today. If you weren't already aware, which you probably were, this is actually going to be Huey's last episode as a Top Clack host. So this is the coup de grace of Top Clack episodes right now, and he'll be moving on to other things in the keyboard content creation arena. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, though. But just keep that in mind. Holy Pandas Aren't Great. Terrible name, but thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. 3 months in a row. Heck yeah.
If keyboard content is an arena, or is this a battle royale? Is this like where we dropping?
Have you seen the battle royale movie, like the original Japanese one? It's like that.
Sweet.
So really good.
And with that, let's roll the intro since Meeseeks just pinged a couple hundred people. So let's hit that.
Now we can start moving on to the actual episode.
Polyzu and Neurowinter, thank you so much for all of those bits. Thank you. So, it's Thursday, the 25th of October. Halloween is just around the corner, so anyone who's going to be partying this weekend, remember to party responsibly with your keyboards. Maybe dress them up, get some candy corn and decorate your keyboard, because candy corn has no use in our physical world because it's the worst candy ever. Like,
it is awful. I don't understand how anyone likes candy corn.
Candy corn is
It's truly terrible.
Nebula for the 100 bits. But that's just around the corner. Hopefully everyone is having a good time as October is wrapping up, getting ready for the I call it the party season, because now we have, Halloween weekend. Everyone's going out, gonna have a good time, hopefully, or have a wonderful time at home, calm, handing out candy to little children and building keyboard stuff like me. And next month, of course, we got tons of holidays. By tons of holidays, I mean Thanksgiving, and Black Friday, because it's basically a holiday. Let's be real. And then after that, we got Christmas and all the other December holidays for all the other different people who celebrate different things. So this is a great time of year. This is a party season. It's the party season. And what's a party without Top Clack?
There are people in chat that apparently like candy corn. I don't know. There are very few times I call people's opinions wrong. This is one of them. Candy corn is not good. Right? It's not even subjective. It's just not a good product.
Well, with that, I hope everyone in chat is doing great today. Brian, how are you? How's your week been?
Week has been pretty darn good so far. I've been getting a lot of cool things in keyboard related, so we'll be able to show that off in mail call momentarily. But other than the fact that I think I'm getting sick again, woke up this morning and my throat's been all kind of messed up, so that's really cool since I just got over being sick. Could you
not die on us, please, Brian? We need you.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that's part of the fun in life, right? You never know what's gonna happen.
It's all a toss up. Something that we do know that happens when they arrive at our doorsteps is our mail call. And we have some exciting mail this week, especially you, Brian. Do you wanna kick us off with some of that some of that hot, spicy stuff?
Yeah, so I actually have a plethora, a multitude, a myriad, a pantheon, an armada of really cool things, a battalion.
Oof. You have the adjective game down.
Yeah. So I got a pretty large package in from Z-Frontier the other day. Test out numerous things. First thing I'm working with here is the collaboration they're doing with Durgod. The ZF71 is what they call this. And as you see here, it's kind of like we'll talk about it more in the show later because it's on the news doc. But it's like a 70%, kind of like the QMK Unique C70. This one has RGB LEDs, which is all fancy and stuff. Still aluminum case. I think this one has a steel plate. But I'm working on a review for this, so that's why I'm using it right now. And that's pretty darn cool. Been kind of enjoying that so far. Got some qualms, but that's what reviewing is for. Also got in this bad mamma jamma. This big hefty boy is the HB85, as some of you might know. And it is one of the more polarizing keyboards in the community to come out lately. This is, I believe this is a prototype. I'm not sure if it's a final version. I know the plate's not. But anyways, I also got the HB85 into review along with the ZF71. So I'll be working on a review for this as well. Pretty interesting looking board, to say the least. Inspired by the Sony Hitbit, I think is what it's called. And I'll be building this on stream tomorrow night, most likely. That's the plan, at least. So, I have some more impressions there as well. I also, this isn't mine, but I'm still going to show it off anyway because it's cool. This is Olivia's Kira EXS with a polycarb plate, which is pretty cool. She wanted me to build this for her, so I'm going to be doing that as well. I might get to that tomorrow if I finish looting the switches in time, which is the hope. Also, courtesy of Z Frontier, I got some new caps in. Let me take a couple of these out and show you guys. So these are actually... Come on, where's a good cap? That's not a good cap. There we go. All right, so these are ABS caps, UV printed, cherry profile, 1.3 millimeter thick. These are made to order, and we'll go over a little bit more about this on our news doc later. But pretty interesting caps. Kind of a competitor to GMK in a specific way, but much cheaper. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But pretty cool stuff so far. I'm excited. Check them all out.
I would be too. That's quite the mail call. Initial impressions, just real quick, of like how you feel when you look around that HB85. Just like the initial visual thoughts of it.
So when we first talked about the interest check a while back, I thought it was a pretty gaudy product. I thought it was cool, but very gaudy. And after receiving it and looking over it in person, it feels a lot nicer, and like it feels a lot more reasonable when you're actually like holding it and it's in front of you. So it's not quite as insane as I thought it was going to be, which is for me pretty good. But I think there's obviously still enough character there. I mean, it looks like something that came out of like a video game or something. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it's going to be pretty darn awesome.
Hell yeah.
But of course, I'll have more thoughts, after I build it and then once I launch a review for it.
So I got some mail as well. So I guess we'll go from smallest to biggest. I don't know what order I'm doing this in. I got an Alps patch. This is an iron-on patch. So you get one of these, you get a piece of clothing, you get a hot iron, and you're like, psh, and then it sticks on, and it's a patch that says Alps on it. I got a friend, Mr. Jay Godinez, who is working on this. He's also, in the past, it's like a long time ago since he made patches, but he also has made the Topre patch as well as the MX Switch patch. I have both of them on my backpack, actually. So he's working on the Alps patch, and this one's going to be on sale very soon, and he's probably going to bring the other two back for a quick sale. If you're newer in the community, maybe miss out on these. These are pretty cool. I'm probably going to put this on the same bag so I can have all three Switch patches on my bag. Yeah, he's a great guy. I got this and he's like, hey, wanted to shoot this out to you. Look, it's a blue Alp slider. So he knows
it's really cool.
He knows what's up. He knows what's up. Okay.
For sure. Sweaty Yeti, Polyzoo, Neurowinter, and Nebulan. Thank you all so much for the bits. You guys are going off with these today.
Thank you. Next up, I got from the far land of China some Lemo connectors to build some dank AF cables, because these are really cool connectors. If you haven't seen, they look like this, and then they go apart, and and they're like ooh, boom, bam. Yeah, so I'm gonna build some connectors. I have some connectors. I'm gonna build some cables for myself in the future. I'll have a video on that, long future, but I'll talk about that stuff later. So that's really exciting, these cables. I just need to buy some Tech Flex and I'll be set to go. Next, I got a new soldering station that you guys can kind of see in the background right here. It's the Pace ADS200. Here is the soldering tip, which I really like because it's a very good tip to handle ratio. So when you're soldering, the tip's very close to your component, so you can get your hand, so you can get right in there very accurately to solder pretty easily. It holds the heat super amazing, heats up faster than my old soldering iron. Well loved upgrade. I know I got a decent amount of things. And that's not it yet. Next I got
the next 10 minutes.
Oof. Next, I got a really cool special package from Mike Sickler of Novel Keys. He's working on different lubes, which has been really interesting. He's working on a lot of them, actually. He's worked on so many of them. He sent me every single sample he's been working on to try out. 19 samples to try out, as well as a whole bag full of retooled blacks. He's like, Kiwi, I want you to try all 19 of these lubricants and tell me how they do. And which ones you like, which ones you don't like, why, and why you don't like them. So, I'm going to be busy with lube. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have the same thing in my mailbox right now, so I too am going to be hard at work trying to figure out what lubes here I do and do not like. In case some of you haven't noticed, some of those lubes are actually black, which is kind of interesting to think about, IMO.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And if you guys aren't aware, Mike did not tell us what any of these are.
These are just numbered 1 through 19. That's it. So
He's
all I can...
keeping us completely in the dark.
So I don't know, yeah, we don't know the chemical composition of any of them. We can all just say, like, I like number 1, I like number 3, I like number 18, I like number 17, but I think it needs a little bit of work. I liked it a lot when I mixed it with 21 doesn't exist, but, you know, etc., 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 stuff like that. So it's a pretty blind test, which is going to be really, really, really exciting. And I still have some more news. I know this is going for a long time, so I'll try to speed it up.
It's going to be a slightly longer episode than usual. We have a very full news doc, and of course we'll be seeing off Huey later on as well, and we'll do a Q&A, of course, as usual.
A lot of people know that I already have a Omni key, but I got another Omni key. This is an Omni Key Ultra, a White Alps board. But there's one very unique reason I bought this board, which is the keycaps. Omni Key Northgates, 99% of them, for the most part, except for the really, really, really bad models, they're all nice double-shot Alps keycaps. This one has Dvorak Legends. They're in-profile Dvorak. So look at that home rail by caps lock. You got A, O, E, U, all in profile appropriately, which is the only, actually, literally the only reason I got this board for these beautiful keycaps. So I'm really happy that this exists. Yeah. So I got that. I was super happy about this. Real quick, let's see. Now I'm going out of order for size. I got Windows XP. Oh, Windows XP. Let's go back to the days of downloading things on LimeWire because Napster just got shut down so we can share CDs with our friends. And that's because I got my Switch tester and need to get it working. I have to use Windows XP. Such is the life it is. So,
yeah. Pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweaty Eddie, thank you for the additional 200 bits. And Geo gifting a sub to Krellbit. Very nice. Very, very nice.
What parallel universe did I just enter?
I know, right? That's what I was just thinking. It's like, what is this? It's the Twilight Zone.
Then, last but certainly not least, today in the mail, I also got a 40 ounce of Mickey's, which I'll be consuming during the duration of this episode. So, cheers.
Oh man, I have beer, but it's a little early for me to drink, so I'm probably not going to. But you know, Huey will work on the drinking for us, and it'll be fantastic. Andrew, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub. The Cash Mom, Cyber Sam, thank you for the bits, as well as Polyzero. You guys are great.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so
much. But we
can
only talk about mail for so long.
Oh boy.
Of course.
Oh my goodness.
Moving into our mighty hefty news doc.
But right before that, Nebula, thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs out to Norcon, crap. Bruins, Lord of Slum, Fusion, Mech Merlin, J Shuff, Neuro, Twitch Chat Genius, Titan 7221 or 721, and Itsudan. Thank you so much, Neb, for all those tier subs. Thank you.
That is always so epic to see, like in the chat.
It's just bam, 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 bam,
bam. Like a wall of gifted subs.
Now, like so the little donation cup is like all the subs. Chris, thank you so much for subbing 7 months in a row with that tier 2 and your number 1 ship today. That is a Christmas miracle. I agree.
What is a tier 2 sub?
$10 instead of $5.
Oh crap! Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Hopefully, Chris, it'll come, since you've waited so long, hopefully it'll come in a nice box.
I like that he spells it Christmas Miracle as in Christmas' name. That's great.
Now I'm going to switch to the news viewer right here because it's time to do the news. And we have a lot of news for you guys. Oh, actually, more than expected.
Yeah, today's news doc is going to be very full and very interesting.
Oh my god,
a
Olivia.
Lot of cool things going on.
Olivia, please, with the 20 tier 1 subs totaling
Olivia,
a 52.
Oh my god. You guys are insane.
Stealing Nebulance Thunder. Oof.
You guys are freaking insane, man.
I will not be outdone, says Olivia.
I will not cry on this episode, probably. Thank you so much, Olivia.
Thank you so much.
All of those. I like how on stream it's just like a machine gun in the event log. It's just like sub.
Which is,
God,
when you think about it, 1/3 of all people watching just got a Twitch sub.
Wow. Yeah, just about. Yeah, 108 viewers now and 30. Yeah, wow.
Okay.
That's, pretty high.
With that, let's move on to the news. The first one is a group buy that's just opened for a JTK set, JTK Arctic by MC Nos. And we talked about this one before when it was the interest check phase. I liked it. Do you remember how you feel about it?
Absolutely, yeah. This is totally a winner for me. I think it's just enough flair. I like that the mods are very, very neutral, and I think the blue works really, really well with how neutral the mods are. And I really like the novelties as well, particularly Snowflake and the little penguin. That's just adorable.
One thing I've noticed from I forgot, there was a JTK set that just shipped out, and they still haven't fixed the tilde. The tilde is still like that fat old tilde, which at this point maybe someone needs to devise like a JTK render where it actually renders everything precisely according to JTK. Because at this point, I don't know how much more they're going to be fixing the legends. Everyone's saying they're fixing. We're still seeing a lot of issues through 4 rounds now of different keycaps, and we're seeing a lot of the same persistent issues. Like that fat tilde, I have a round 1 JTK Toxic, has that. And the most recent thing that came out still has it, right? So maybe someone who does a lot of renders can start whipping together a render set that people can use for JTK with the legends. But that aside, like you said, I love how the mods work with the rest of the set. Yeah,
it looks pretty good. I would definitely consider buying this, especially because of the price.
Yes.
So the group buy pricing shows $80 USD plus shipping from Z Frontier. So interestingly enough, there are no US proxies for this, which is kind of interesting. You have to buy it from Z Frontier if you're in the US for the US price. So, but $80 plus shipping from Z Frontier should still be a pretty good value. You know, this is still going to be a sub $100 set. Compatibility is not too bad, unless you're an ISO user, then you're kind of out of luck, it seems, which is unfortunate. But you know, such is life, it seems, in this community. But yeah, pretty good looking set, IMO.
Yeah. So I'm down to clown with this one. I'm probably gonna be ordering it sometime soon. You know, even legend issues aside, I like the colorway, and at that price, I think it's just a fine set to slap on really anything that's not like what I would consider the most premium of my premium boards, and still be very happy about it. Breemans, thank you so much for 4 months in a row of Twitch Prime. Thank you.
Heck yeah. So this group buy closes on November 21st, so you got a little bit under a month left to join. And the completion will be around Q1 of 2019, although JTK seems to always have delays. Keep that in mind as well.
So, we like this because sub $100. But let's move to our next topic, which brings us sub $50. And when you get down there, usually, things are worth talking about in terms of how bad or good things are, and most things fall under the bad category when you go under $50.
They definitely can.
Z Frontier is something new, and you have a sample of this. This is the Keyreative UV Drawing ABS key set, multilingual. You have a set. Tell me, Brian. Educate us.
I currently have 2 sets. I have not put either of them on a board yet for one reason. I don't have anything that supports standard layout, and they did not include the add-on extras for these review samples. So I have to rebuild a board with a standard layout just so I can use these caps, which I'm going to be doing very soon. But there's a few really, really, really interesting things about these sets that I kind of wanted to touch on. For starters, check out the options. If you scroll down this page, you're going to be scrolling for a while. And you can probably see there's tons and tons and tons of different color options and sub-legend options. So you got your just normal English cap. I don't know why I have it under sub-legends, but I'm assuming under sub-legends, if you get English, that's no sub-legend. But or you can get Cyrillic, Japanese, Hangul. I'm not going to try to pronounce this. Zonje, something, I don't know. Some kind of Chinese, I believe. And then also there is Thai and Arabic. So a pretty big selection, especially things that we don't usually see, like Chinese, Thai, and, we have seen Arabic before, but, still a little bit on the rarer side. But these are also made to order. So you get to choose your color, and you get to choose your sub-legend, and then they make it to you, they make it, and they ship it to you, which is cool. And, the base kit, which doesn't have any of the add-on extras, is $35. And if you do want the add-on extras, which gives you, more compatibility for your slightly less obscure boards, I guess, it's only going to cost you an extra $5, so $40. Pretty darn good. Some pros to this, depending on who you are, they are ABS. They are 1.3 millimeter thick, which is, 0.2 millimeters thinner than something like GMK or Enjoy PBT, but still 1.3 is usually thick enough for most people. I can actually show it off right now.
By the way, since you started explaining, I've been scrolling the screen slowly, and it's still scrolling.
Yeah, so still relatively thick. The downside, if you do want to call it that, is that they are UV printed, which means they will wear off over time. How long? I have no idea. I imagine it's not going to be gone in like a week or two, but I imagine it probably won't last several years. But because I've never tested on one and I've never had UV printed caps before, I really can't say. And I wish I could have like some kind of timeline on when you can kind of expect caps to just wear out. But I imagine it'll take at least a little while. And the trade-off here is that they're cheap. They're very inexpensive for a cherry profile keycap set. So definitely something to look into if you're on a budget but you want to try cherry profile ABS. And maybe you need some sub-legends that you just can't find anywhere else, or like a colorway that you haven't seen anywhere else. So tons and tons and tons of made-to-order options here, which I think is a really, really cool strategy, honestly.
So I want to touch on colorways. I will say to everyone right now, Brian and I are not the experts on this little niggle I'm gonna bring up. But colorways, a lot of these colorways are very, I'll say, strongly influenced for political correctness from pre-existing GMK sets. You can interpret that how you will as you look through the different colors, but a lot of them are extremely strongly influenced by other sets, and my guess is without permissions. I wonder what different designers who've designed different sets in potentially very, very, very similar colorways have thought about this, if at all.
I haven't really looked through the colors yet, so I haven't really noticed. I mean, a lot of them are pretty standard. Things like black on white, white on black, kind of like a monochrome theme. Things like that, I feel like, there's not like a patent on that. You can't really call like
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's there's no such thing necessarily as quote unquote copying, because you can't trademark, or to a degree you can, but no one has trademarked or no one has put a quote unquote patent or a copyright on colorways. SP themselves, in terms of the sets SP produces, says no one owns colorways. Of course, GMK may have different rules regarding ownership of colorways or whether or not they respect it or care about it. But it's a community thing that people talk about all the time. Because, for example, Brian and I, we couldn't just go out and be like, hey guys, we got a cyan set for you. That cyan on white. Guess what the color codes are. Like, that doesn't really fly to a degree. Or if we were like, hey, here's a purple on cyan that's influenced by a very popular cartoon we enjoyed in our youth. It's one of those kinds of things, and it's different. In terms of global perspective, like I said, Brian and I aren't the best people at commentating about this because we're not designers of key sets, so we don't have much to throw into this arena. But I just want to put that thought out there for everyone. It does exist as something worth thinking about. I think it's great that these exist. Don't get me wrong. $40 for a set's cherry profile, even if the legends fade, is great for a lot of people. Because traditionally, Brian and I have always said, oh, you have a friend who's getting into keyboards, they want to upgrade from their crappy OEM keycaps. Every time we'd say, recommend them enjoy PBT. $80, they're kind of really set, right? But for a lot of people who's getting into it, $80 kind of grabs them by the balls, and they're like, oh, $80, my keyboard is $110. What are you talking about, right? $40 is a bit more palatable and way better than the $20 that gets you a Taihao.
Yep, exactly.
So one thing I would recommend, if anyone is going to get this or going to recommend this to friends, recommend them they get a set that they would still be okay, that looks great without legends. Because legends will fade. We don't know the timeline of them fading. I'm going to try one of these sets out. But the set I get, I believe will also look great if there were no legends. Because worst case scenario, that's what's going to end up happening some mysterious time down the line.
Yeah. I can't imagine it being like a super fast thing. Like, I don't think your legends are going to wear off after like a month or two. If I had to ballpark anything, it'd probably be, at least 6 to 12 months before you start to see any kind of difference. If I had to guess. Imagine if it was so bad that
it wore out at the same rate of shine. Like, for me, they'd be gone so quickly. But these are UV printed.
Quantric brings up a great point too. He says even if it fades after a year, it's only $40. I can buy a new set every year for 4 years, and it's still the price of one GMK set.
Exactly.
That's totally true. Like, in theory, here you're getting what you pay for. Like, you spend $40, which by and large is a very small amount on a key set, all things considered in our community, and you get like these feel good too. Like they're very nice, smooth ABS. They look pretty good. The legends are a little fuzzy, but not totally out of the realm of decent. And 1.3 millimeter thick. Whatever. Like it's a throw around set. Like it's $40.
Brian, do you have calipers?
No.
Get some calipers so you can measure the thickness for us, please.
Okay. They claim 1.3 millimeter.
Right. So I want to put that to the test. Right. This is a claim.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
Fair enough.
So check this out when you get a chance.
Actually, I do plan to take some nice pictures side by side with other caps. So GMK, Enjoy PBT, whatever else I have on hand. So that way people can get an idea.
Thank you, Holy Pandas Are Great, for gifting that tier 1 sub to KB Warriors, and it's their first gift. It's your first gift sub, so thank you so much, KB Warriors. Hope you enjoy that sub. Shen, earlier I saw you, buddy. Don't think I forgot about you. 8 months in a row for that tier 1. Thank you so much, Shen, for that respect. I really much appreciate it. A lot. It really does mean a lot. So. $40,
Heck yeah, guys.
Even if it wears out. Check out these keycaps when you get a chance. Z Frontier, pretty awesome.
Where else are you gonna get Thai legends?
Thai legends. So
High sub-legends.
So let's move way upstream in the price range. We started from JTK, we went down to Keyreative UVs, and now let's go all the way up to the GMK with this interest check by Beep, who's been on a roll for designing. Has been on a sushi roll, which is delicious in bento boxes, which is GMK Bento. What we have next. I like this set. I don't know why, but I like this set.
I like it too.
For me, it's like if someone took cotton candy colorway and made it not shitty. That's how I feel about it. Like, if you think of cotton candy as colors, like, what? Like, a pink blue swirl at a state fair while you're eating double fried chicken and funnel cake? That's a weird colorway. But this is like, hey, let's mute those a little bit. And then I think it works pretty well. Holy Pandas are great. Thank you so much for them tier 1 sub gifts, gifting 2 more. I can't read. 2 different people. Thank you. So, what do you think about this set, Brian? I like it, but what about you?
I like it as well. I'm not in love with it, but I do appreciate the theme. I'm obviously a guy that's eaten a fair amount of bento boxes in my life, so I have a kind of relation with that. I dislike a lot of the novelties, actually.
I dislike the novelties as well.
The only novelty I think I actually like out of all of these is the ramen escape. I actually hate the rest of them. But as far as the colors go, I do like the colors a lot. Japanese sub-legends, maybe a little overplayed these days, but it fits the theme of the board.
Yes.
Of the key set, not the board.
So I think,
can't complain.
As a designer, Beep is upcoming and rising super fast. So a lot of you guys may be like, Beep sounds so familiar. What has he done? He's been doing a lot. Okay, he's doing intercheck for Cam Wrath, extended 2048. Now he's doing GMK Bento. If you've been watching on Keeb Talk, he just won the logo competition for our new logo for Keeb Talk that he designed. Of the 4 finalists, 2 of the submissions were his. So he had like a 50-50 chance of winning to be the Top Clack logo. And both of his are spots 1 and 2, by the way.
Talk, not Top Clack.
So yeah, sorry, Keeb Talk. So he's been on a roll for just design work in general. I liked a lot of the work he's put out, especially Cam Wrath. I like this set as well.
Yeah.
I like his design style. He's definitely going to be an artist I will be looking forward to seeing what he puts out.
His designs so far have been very good. His renders have been good.
I think his renders were done by Ablotsky for his renders.
Oh, were they?
Yes, I think on the top it says...
I don't see that.
Yeah, thanks to Ablotsky and Yanglad for the renders hearts.
Oh, okay. Well, no surprise there. Ablotsky does pretty good renders as well. So that makes sense. So yeah, pretty cool looking set. Definitely have to pay attention to this when it hits the group buy phase, if it does.
So this is the interest
check. As usual.
Mm-hmm.
Interest check, yep. If you guys are interested in it, make sure to let him know, because otherwise he's not going to know.
Mm-hmm.
The set might never run. So, cool stuff there.
So let's yo-yo all the way back down on the keycap pricing spectrum to Massdrop, who has the next topic, which is the POM electrocapacitive keycap set, which is just a POM set with Topre mounts for your HHKB. For 20 buckaroos. I'm guessing this is just the same one KBD fans has, just Massdrop's buying a bulk of them, so they got it down to 20 buckaroos. Add-on kit for $7 if you want some additional keys for stuff. It's $20. It's cheap. It's POM.
Yeah, $20 to cover an HHKB is pretty good, honestly. Obviously you're not going to be covering anything besides the HHKB realistically, but still pretty good price. $20 is pretty low for a key set. Of course.
It's
maybe
okay,
you have Topre and you never tried POM and you want to.
So that's what I'm saying real quick about this topic, because I don't think there's that much to talk about other than this is only good if you want to try POM. I have POM, their Cherry MX versions, this set is only worth it because Brian and I will both say, most people who have HHKBs will agree, the stock HHKB keycap set is good. Like, it's straight up good. I don't think this will be necessarily I don't think this will be an upgrade. This will be like a side grade, just whether or not to test out if you like POM as a material.
These are arguably going to be worse, if anything.
Yeah.
In terms of like overall quality, but you know, POM is a very unique thing. It's a very unique feel, and you know, could be something totally for you. Only costs you $20 to find out, plus shipping probably. So.
Yeah. So check it out on Massdrop when you get a chance. It only ends in 2 days, so you got to rush it if you want it. Yeah, that's about it, I will say. Let's move on to the next topic, which is the candy corn of keycaps. GMK Handarbeit.
Handarbeit plus.
Handarbeit. This really is like the candy corn of keycaps. Okay, Brian and I were actually talking about this before the stream. Everyone who watches Top Clack or has watched Top Clack, thank you, by the way, Jesha, for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Everyone who's watched Top Clack for a while knows my disdain for GMK Rainbow as the set that is the worst, not because of actually how it looks, but mostly because it took up GMK's production schedule to fit it in. Brian was like, I like Rainbow more than this. And I'm like, I hate that I agree. I like Rainbow more than this set.
Rainbow at least makes sense. This doesn't really make sense.
Hey, the people defending candy corn? Nah. I'm sorry.
No, we already went over this at the beginning of the show. Candy corn is just bad objectively. I'm sorry. It's just bad.
So this is Handarbeit. It's available on TX keyboards, my keyboards for Europe, Z Frontier for China. It's loud and proud is how I would describe it. It was influenced by a real keyboard, which, like, when you think about it, like, what real keyboard was this, and like, why did this have to happen? Like,
there's no way they're gonna beat MOQ, right? Like, that's just not gonna happen. Are they actually gonna beat MOQ for this set?
I hope they don't. I hope they don't.
I want people to get the set if they want it. You know, that's totally fine. Nothing against that. I'm just curious because I feel like
I know. So I'm going to say it's going to be like GMK Rainbow. It's going to make MOQ / it's going to work because China likes it.
That's fair.
It's going to happen. I know that. It's going to happen. I don't like it. I don't want it to happen, but it will happen. It is very classic and OG in the worst ways, but you put those two words together, and people are like, "Ooh, I don't care if it's good or not. It's classic. It's vintage. It's heritage."
That's not incorrect. That's not incorrect. It is. It definitely has heritage.
Polly's you asking the question that I kind of wanted to ask. Brian, what colors do you see?
Thankfully, this set is insane enough to where I actually notice all the difference in colors. Or at least most of them, I presume. But, yeah. No, I even being partially colorblind, I'm still well aware of how this set looks.
So, whether you like the set, don't like the set, the group buy is going on right now, so you can join it from your respective proxies. Check it out when you, or don't check it out when you get a chance. But it's Handarbeit. It has heritage. People like heritage. Maybe you do too. And if you do, this is OG, one of the OGs. So, yeah. And that's it for the keycap news. Let's move on to the next topic where you don't have to be Brian colorblind to look at this and be like, huh? Which is our first keyboard news, the intersect for the BP80 keyboard. Huh?
Okay, this is a really interesting piece. So, man, I'm really wanting to like this. I really am wanting to. So the first thing I notice when I see this is it makes me think of a Cadillac CTS.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, like the front grille of a Cadillac CTS. Like that's all I see when I look at this keyboard. It has character. It certainly has character. It has the same kind of character as like the LZ Iron, which is just like it's gaudy, but like some people are like that's kind of neat because it's so like out there. This is one of those showpieces. I will not buy one because I don't like the way it looks. I will never buy one, but it has character. Darn it!
This
What do you
person
think,
went far enough to make a prototype.
Yep, he actually has real prototype pics of just the housing, at least the raw, unfinished housing by the looks of it.
Oh gosh!
But this is something. What do you guys think? What does chat think of this?
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
I mean, this is inspired by Black Panther, according to the artist or designer Levon. Yeah.
Yeah. Says still need more advice for the bottom. So I feel like this is one of those things where like this guy is not making this for other people. He's making it because he wants it and he wants like a lower price for it or something, basically. Which wouldn't be the first time we've seen that kind of scenario. It's not unreasonable at all or uncommon at all, really, to see people design a keyboard or a key set or an artisan or something because like they want it in particular, and like a very small amount of other people might want it.
Brian, did your internet just spike?
I don't know.
Because for a literal second, you sounded like the goddamn devil. Like everyone in chat's like, Chris was like Satan out here. Like no, literally
I
like.
I can't wait to watch the VOD.
Okay,
someone clip that for me, please.
When you watch the VOD or that clip, like you'll be like, oh god, you need Jesus. It was seriously demonic for like 2 words or 1 word, and everyone's just like, oh. Like you'll see me physically react. But sorry, I'm totally I have no clue what you just said because that happened. Like I have no clue. I don't think anyone has a clue of a single thing you said.
I don't know. Now I'm just really curious, but I'll have to go back and look at that later.
Bless our souls. I think that demonic outbreak was this described our thoughts on the keyboard, which means we should move on.
The real reason that Huey's leaving Top Clack is I have been possessed.
Okay, moving on is a interest check for I think could be done better, but interesting enough topic that is definitely worth a lot of people's consideration, which is the interest check for the Reflex and Paradox, a 60% wind keyless O-ring sandwich floating plate mount. What a mouthful.
Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. So he calls it Reflex and Paradox. So there's 2 versions, but later on he says he's probably only going to do one of them instead of both of them. But so this is pretty interesting. He's really focusing on this particular style of mounting, which he is calling O-ring sandwich floating plate mount, which is just a fancy way of saying gasket mount, basically. So the way he's doing it is he will have rubber O-rings, or presumably rubber O-rings, some kind of O-ring, on top of the screw mounts for the plate and on the bottom. So in theory, the plate will only be touching these O-rings and not any part of the case, which is like kind of normal for how gasket mount often works. Like the meme, for example, well, at least on my meme, I put the gaskets on both sides. So that way it's not touching any part of the case either. So that's kind of the theme here, which is cool. I'm always in favor of some kind of gasket mount because it's honestly very cheap to implement, and I think it does provide a better typing experience, both in feel and sound. But he's also doing something very interesting here. On the Reflex, I believe it is, right? how it is. Yeah, so on the Reflex, he actually has kind of a mesh bottom going on here, which is open. So kind of like the idea of like open back headphones, I guess, is maybe the kind of model theme here. But you know, he's trying to change the way everything sounds by having those cutouts on the bottom, which is very interesting, if nothing else. The Paradox, the other version, does not have that. That has a solid bottom, which is a little bit more akin to 60% we know and love. But the Reflex, I'm hoping, is the one that gets made, because that one actually has some interesting innovation going on.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about these keyboards, Huey?
Either one that gets made, and I'm down to clown around town without any frowns, because the funny thing is I was going to do a video of the same thing with me using my TX60 with like just normal O-rings. Because I can do that, because it's also a sandwich. It's a different kind of sandwich.
Yeah.
It's a sandwich, and I think it's just taking something very simple and making it all the way, which is fine. I like the idea behind it. I hope it works out. I feel like if you're going to do this much work, you could potentially find a better gasket solution, but we'll see.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll see.
This could be really, really cool.
Because
honestly.
so a big thing I have about this is the cutouts for those O-rings. That takes machine time as opposed to having a flat slate like the meme, or you could just put a gasket on top. Like, that's probably cheaper than that machining. Possibly.
That machining is probably a lot of machine time, honestly.
But we'll see. Chris Waters, thank you so much for 6 months in a row of that Twitch Prime.
Heck yeah.
I want this to happen, though.
So,
regardless, I'm going to
I do
be
too.
pretty happy.
Yeah, I would vote for the Reflex, and I'd probably honestly buy it. That slightly open bottom is really, really interesting to me. I'd be really curious to see how that affects sound, particularly with the gasket mount, which already sounds, in my opinion, very good and very So, would be cool.
Let's move on to the next one, which is another intersect for the aanzee, or the aanzee, or the aanzee, because I don't know what they're... I don't know. Too many vowels. It's a 65% keyboard. It has a blocker. It has a little badge thing. It has a 5-degree typing angle, and it's a sandwich mount. 79mm high profile. It has different plates for ISO and ANSI. Thank goodness. Polycarbonate or alu body. Polycarbonate, alu, or brass plates. Sand blasted brass weights. And the whole shebang. Custom LED. Different colors. Charcoal, aubergine, Olivia color. So rose gold color.
Right.
Ocean,
Right.
royal green, and anthracite. Or anthracite. Can we call all rose gold boards just Olivia colored now? Is that?
I really like this guy's color naming scheme though. Like, this guy could have just said like gray, but he wants to call it charcoal. Aubergine, Olivia, Ocean, Anthracite. These are pretty great.
Olivia,
there's actually a link. There's a link to an album where he shows off the prototype more. And I was looking at this earlier. One thing I noticed right off the bat is how monumentally tall this is. Like, go through that album and just look at the side profile pictures of the prototype.
Click here.
It is
for
insane.
More. I will click there and I'll look through more. Yeah, it's
really tall.
I don't think it'll be that bad. I don't think it'll be that bad. Nah, I think it'll be okay, Brian. I think it'll be okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. A lot of people like that. I just think it's very tall compared to a lot of other keyboards.
It's not Time TKL tall.
It might be.
It might be.
I might have to measure the Time TKL, because this guy's...
Have you sent it to me yet, or you still have to measure? Okay, if you still have to measure, yeah, you should measure it, because we've always talked about how tall that front is, and like not a lot of people know. Like, with a wrist rest, my wrist rest is still too short for it.
Yeah, no, my wrist rest is like way thicker actually than most other wrist rests, because I had it custom made that way, and it's still like way shorter than the Time TKL.
But back to this, yeah, this is it's possibly a thick boy, probably a thick boy.
Possibly the thick boy, but 65% integrated blocker. You have a name tag as well, which a lot of people are pretty into. There's a very interesting bottom weight design, which I like a lot. And I'm not sure what is this render here on the mouse mat. Is he making a mouse mat too? Is that what this picture is here for?
Size compared to a mouse mat.
But look at it. This is not that board though. This is just a random 60% board.
I don't know. I don't know, my dude.
That's
so
strange.
something interesting. So there's a limited run of this board. It's gonna be between $425 to $500, not including shipping, per board.
Yeah, so pretty expensive.
That's a pretty penny.
But not totally unrealistic. But definitely a fat sum of money.
Yeah.
You can get additional parts, additional plate, $80. When was the last time you saw an $80 plate?
When I ordered 2 plates.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever paid $80 for 1 plate, especially as an add-on as part of a group buy board. That is really, really expensive for a plate. I wonder what makes that plate so special that it's that expensive.
Profit.
I guess, yeah, I guess so. Anyways, he plans to run the buy in November, assuming the IC is well received, and it's.
Everyone in chat, is this IC well received? Real quick, everyone, to say well received or poorly received. Give me a +1, -1. Just tell me real quick. Tell us real quick. Good, positive or negative for the receiving, for how you receive this interest check. No, is the first one. Don't like it. No, -1. It's probably CNC'd. -1. +1, -1. Nay, -1.
-69. 0. All right, so it looks like most of our audience does not like this. I see.
Interesting.
Wow.
Well,
I would have expected it to be a little bit more neutral.
Enough of that. Let's go to the Swire's specialty, which is 45% keyboard. Something that you and I aren't the most acquired with. Well, actually, he's more about 40s, but this is a 45% keyboard. This is the
it's more in his realm than ours.
Minitomic. 45% staggered keyboard. It's a 8 mounting point tray style keyboard, high profile, QMK compatible, brass or aluminum 1.5mm plate, European switch spacing of 19 millimeters.
Trademarked. He says trademark.
As opposed to, by the way, if you're not unsure, as opposed to the traditional switch spacing of 19.05 millimeters. Yes, that does make a difference across the span of a whole board. Yes. Mini USB, 5-degree angle, so nice and light. Caps lock indicator, reset button, fully designed by Martin Watt. Here it is.
Reset button under the spacebar. That's a good place to have it because you just take off your spacebar when you want to reprogram your board, as opposed to like actually taking the entire board apart. I like when they think of that stuff like that.
Let's talk about this real quick. Not too many supported layouts, which is fine. It's a very small keyboard. Okay, you got a 7U spacebar, 6.25, or a split 1.752U with different bottom rows accommodating both. You can either have a split backspace or a normal backspace. For your alphas, it extends to Q, extends to semicolon, and thank goodness, because it's 45%, it extends to the question mark. You have modifiers on left and right side. For me, honestly, as someone who... So, I've talked about this before, and I always continue talking about it. For those who may not know, I type in Dvorak, and when you type in Dvorak, typing on most 40% doesn't work too well because 40% key layouts are designed based off of QWERTY, so they omit keys that are okay to omit in layers for QWERTY, but not for Dvorak. So for me personally, I'd usually prefer a 45% or bigger, or if it's a 40%, an ortholinear. This could work for me. I won't get this, but it could work for me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's what I have to say.
I also, even though it's really, really the opposite of functional, I like that you could put a 7U spacebar on this keyboard.
Hell yeah! I mean,
because I would be the guy doing that.
I almost would say this is like the successor to the JD45. Maybe, yeah. Yeah. So this is an Intercheck. Check it out when you get a chance. There's always a niche market for these kind of products. But hey, if you're in that niche and you really like this, check it out when you get a chance. Any final thoughts about this one?
Yeah. So like, look at how simple the actual like case structure is. It's a tray mount, very simply designed case with a nice profile. Simple tray mount plate. This is probably going to be pretty inexpensive, which I'm always a fan of. I'm really a big fan of things that are inexpensive but still look nice, and I think this is going to be one of those products.
Yes, indeed. So, speaking of something that could look nice, I think next one's going to be a little controversial when it comes to the sides and back. Is this next Intercheck for the Turkeeb V1 custom 6% keyboard. Here we go. It's from someone named Penumbra. Not to be confused with the sets, because this person only has 4 posts. Let's just get to it. Interesting part: sides and back of the 60%. I already have the render of the last picture that has the sides and back that you can see the bottom of it. That's what's going to catch people's eye. You're in for that or you're out for that, I think, with those slits in the front. Right?
I don't know what to think about this, honestly. It's very different, and I say it all the time. I do like different for the sake of being different, even if I don't like the design personally. So I don't like this design personally, but I do give it a thumbs up for being so out there compared to other designs. And the fact that he says it'll be around $200 to $250, presumably USD, for the keyboard, which is pretty inexpensive, all things considered. I don't know. How do you feel about this design?
When I see it from the front, the 3/4 view, honestly, no. For some reason, it's not clicking with me. I thought it would. I like the price. Don't get me wrong. I love the price. But and then when I look at that 3/4 view, something's not clicking with me. And I don't think even for that price I would really get it. There's a disconnect, and I think it's by the front before you get to that curve. How that little geometry, because you got that front lip, and then
that lip is just weird. It seems
that front
really
lip is really weird. Okay, and then you have it almost looks like a cut off pistol grip for the sides toward the front, if you know what I mean, before the cutout goes. That geometry looks bad to me, and that's, I think, will kill the look of this board more than anything, unless they clean that up. No. But hey, it's very early Intercheck. I think a lot of people. I hope it can change. I hope when things can happen. Things can happen.
Yeah.
But
Christmas Cane says, "Good example of over designing."
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely a way to look at it. Yeah. It's very out there.
So the opposite.
But it is an IC.
Yeah. So hopefully it changes.
First thing done. So yeah, well, it's still early. This could change, could not run, could run. You never know.
So
it's still early.
In the vein of designing, here we have an over design, and our next topic is an unknown design. The group buy for the LZMP came and went in an instant, it seems like. Okay. We talked about this one. It's a blind buy. It's a blind buy. You trust LZ. You like him or you don't. Hey, no winner lists. One unit, one person. If you bought from him previously, it's a raffle. Cool. If you didn't, first come, first serve. Pew, 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 pew. You can refund it if you do not like what you get at the end. But
really,
what is this?
That is interesting that he lets people do that. I mean, it makes sense, but that's very cool. Yeah, we don't know. Don't know what this is going to be like. He has a very, simple kind of render that he kind of teases. Gives you a vague idea in theory. I honestly don't know how I feel about this structure, but I do like the idea that you can refund if you don't like the final product. But like Huey said, if you like LZ, you usually like LZ. He does a lot of very similar designs. Most of his boards look very, very similar, and it's a tried and true design. He's very elegant. He's very classic. A lot of people are into that. He doesn't usually go too overboard, barring the LZ Iron. So I think most people that are going to be, fans of LZ and they enter this, I think they're probably going to be okay with what they get. That would be my guess.
So, because there's no real keyboard for us to look at, we want to ask the audience, are there any designers you could blindly trust like this if they released a blind keyboard in their price range? LZ has his price range, and this fits within it. If Duck released a blind keyboard within the normal Duck prices, or Yutski released one in his normal prices, or even Zondat, right? Who's been working a lot of boards, or Ryan Norbauer, right? Who would you guys trust? Rama, if you guys like Rama, who would you guys trust for a blind thing? Even you have the chance, just like this one, to get a refund, but would you trust anyone with hundreds of dollars as a blind buy?
Yeah,
I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think? Who do you guys like right now?
It's tough to want to put $400, $500, $600 into something you don't know what it's going to be. Certainly, you'd see Rama, Norbauer, Rama, Way. Yeah. Fair enough.
Mean, for a way buy, a way buy would be like $80. So,
yeah,
way blind buy, yeah. 80 to 200.
Rama, Kin, Zeal, Olivia, Zondat. Yeah.
Thank you for you guys' input, because we're gonna move on.
Actually,
who are you? Who are you?
Would probably be one for me too. I really like Zondat's simple design language. Yeah.
For me,
as long as the buy actually went well. I mean, we're talking strictly the board.
Yeah, strictly the board.
You
so
get the board. For
me, it would be Yutski, because TGR boards, I think I like all of them. Second, TX, because all of Kin's boards have like that look, and so you already know what it's gonna be regardless, right? While I'd have qualms about Duck's boards, if I wanted to aim for consistency, I know what anything Duck would put out in any form factor would look like before I even got a render, because Duck has his look, right? Just like his Zondat.
Yeah.
People are saying Alf. No, Alf can go so many spots on the spectrum. That's a truly blind buy.
Yeah. Chinese designers seem a lot like that too. Like Gray Studio would be the same way. Like you could be getting anything, and that could be really, really cool or really, really bad for you, depending on who you are.
Mm-hmm. So thanks for your input, everyone. Let's move on to the next one. I think the next one's interesting because it gives reason for ErgoDox kits to exist, which I have always campaigned against previously, but now I will say they have a reason. Because there's a newer run for the ErgoDox 76. And I know some of you guys will be like, hey, Huey, the ErgoDox Easy exists. Duh, you can buy it now. But it's an ErgoDox that's made of a plastic case for like $230 to $200.
I think it's even more than that. I think it's like really expensive.
Regardless.
It's like $300 or something.
This one is $150 for no keycaps, okay? Hot swap, by the way, which is good. So one thing I did ask them, because I posted this group buy on Keeb Talk, that is in fact a Chunky Monkey USB A to A to connect them, not this traditional TRRS to TRRS or mini to mini, micro to micro. It's
SATA
A to A.
Yeah.
So
would that be a deal breaker for you?
No.
If you were thinking
to be honest, the A to A isn't a deal breaker. It's just like, it's just weird. It's just weird.
It's a little weird to
That's
see.
all.
Yeah.
Cause it's funny, because I asked them, like, is that a Chunky Monkey A to A? And they responded, it's a Chunky Monkey A to A. I'm like, oh, okay. Otherwise, it's fine. It's a acrylic aluminum plate, I think, or steel plate, metal plate, aluminum plate, sorry, and then acrylic. It's all, so it's just very simple. Very simple look to it. QMK supported, which is A+. A lot of people like QMK. Speaking of QMK, real quick segue. McMerlin, congratulations. If you guys don't know, McMerlin's been named an official collaborator with QMK as well as the QMK official community representative. So, McMerlin, congratulations.
Very nice.
Yeah, you're awesome. But let's go back to this. It goes USB-C for the port. A lot of people like USB-C because USB-C is the future. Duh.
Future.
So one thing I think I have a minor qualm about, but I don't know how they're going to do in terms of production because the timeline seems okay-ish. The Group I is running all the way from right today until December 9th, 2018. So all the way to December. It's pretty long. But
like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but they expect production and delivery to be in their warehouse by March 10th, which if it ends on December 9th, okay, that's... If it ended on the 10th and they started production right after, maybe they could be rushing it. But my random guess would be they're probably starting production a little bit early. You know, once they have a good estimate of numbers coming in. My guess. Yeah. So you're going to need switches to complete this board. PBT keycaps are an option. They have interesting things. So it's going to come with your 2 PCBs, acrylic cases, aluminum plates, screws and screw tool, stabilizers, your hot swap tool, which is to just remove switches, so it's a top and bottom little grabber, rubber feet, and your cables.
And that'll run you $150, so not too bad there. Definitely relatively inexpensive compared to other ErgoDox options. You can throw in some white or black DSA caps for an additional $25. Or an additional $30 will get you black or white XDA caps if that's more up your alley. I believe they are all blank either way, judging by the look of this. But yeah, that's it. It seems like a fairly good value if you're into this sort of thing. Hot swap is the future, man.
Is it?
I like how they call it the ErgoDox 76 too. We're all ErgoDoxes now.
So check this out when you get a chance. Group I's live. If you're itching for an ErgoDox and you want something less expensive than this, but a little bit better than some of the very, very cheap budget alternatives out there, this is an option for you. Hot swap, USB-C port, A to A connector, which a lot of people like because minis and micros and TRRSs can be fragile depending on who you are. So A's are nice and, big, bulkier, chunky monkeys, as I like to call them. But some people like the chunky monkey. So, check this out when you get a chance, because we're going to move on to the next topic, which is one I'm like, oh, yes. PCB mounts is a yes for me. The Skog Lite. We covered the IC recently, but now it's the official Group I has launched for $349.99 for Cent Studios.
Yeah. So $350 gets you your case and your PCB. So like we discussed last time the IC came up on either our last episode or the one before that, the Skog Lite does not have a plate.
Mm-hmm.
It mounts the base of the case, so it's a tray mount, PCB mount only. So there's a car alarm going off outside my apartment. Sorry about that, guys.
I will be right back in 1 moment. Keep going.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're good. So yeah, very interesting. We don't usually see this kind of design. It's pretty rare to see a PCB mount custom, and not only that, but like a tray mount PCB custom. There recently was the Jur 80, I believe was what it was called, as TKL. That's going to be a top mount PCB mount custom, which is very cool. But this is also cool in its own way. So yeah, we'll kind of see how this feels. They did omit the center pole for the mounting on the PCB, so that way it gives it a little bit more flex while you type. Most experienced enthusiasts prefer that kind of flex. Usually tray mount is pretty harsh when you bottom out because you're just typing right into standoffs. So definitely something to consider here. But I'm actually really looking forward to this. I might be buying one myself. The Group I is open for quite a while, so you have time to think about it. This one ends on December 10th, so just like our last one, our last Group I we talked about. This one, going on for about 6 weeks, which is pretty long, honestly. It departs for their warehouse on March 10th, which again is maybe a little generous, but hey, if they can do it, awesome. More power to them. The colors, are interesting. I was really hoping that you'd get a little bit more customizability between your inner frame and outer housing, but unfortunately that's not really the case. But they do give you some options to play around with, of course. So now that you're back here, you can kind of go through some of those color options in the pictures. So you have the red version, which is like, what is that, like red with kind of like a gray interior, like a dark gray. What that is, I think. And then there's a blue, which is kind of like a dark blue outside and like a silver mid piece. Then you have what looks to be an all-white version. Not sure how the coating on that is, if that's like powder coated or something. Obviously, it's probably not anodized. So interesting to see that. And then you have a all gray version, an all black version, and wait, how do you pronounce this? Atrovirans.
Oh. White? Electrophoresis?
No. In the last picture in the album, Atroviran. It's like what they're calling green, is what I'm assuming.
Atrovirans? I don't know.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but looks like a dark green, which is kind of cool. I actually really like that color. But yeah, pretty good looking stuff. I dig it. Oof.
I dig it too.
On the 40 grind.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one. That's kind of how it is. I like it. So they're expecting to depart for their warehouses in March. So there's a little bit of worry. So a lot of people do know that, you know, Image Club has had a little recent little shenanigans be happening with their factory. It looks like it's mostly cleared up, but I'm wondering if their shipping schedule is going to get impacted in March, because they have this, and we just talked about the ErgoDox, which is heading to them in March as well. It looks like they got a lot on their plate, but as long as, you know, everything comes out hunky-dory, then hopefully it turns out well. I know it's a small worry that some people do have, but hopefully it works out. Just gotta put that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple other notable specs is you're not getting Type-C here. We're still sticking with the Type-B mini USB. It will run the Bootmapper client firmware, and the weight is supposedly 1.8 kilograms, which is around 4 pounds. So not too bad, especially considering you're not getting a plate here. So what do we think of this price, though? $350 for a plateless PKL.
I do think it's quite a bit, and I think to make it more digestible, I wish I could see how that top piece was mounted on, because it looks like there's some standoffs I see between the F keys. So if that's just like all tray on tray, like maybe there's some machining for that. I just think it's quite a bit overall in total production costs. I mean, in terms of like, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot. I would expect for $350, I would get a plate, and for $300, I wouldn't get a plate. That's how I would see it honestly when I look at a product like this.
I think that's fair. So they do have one picture on the album that shows the bottom of the case, at least part of it. And you can kind of see there are some mounting points around the edges. So I'm assuming that's where the that kind of inner frame screws in to the inner frame and the case actually come together there.
Yeah.
Because all the standoffs for the PCB are internal on the on the inside of the case instead of the outside.
So I'll probably get one of these. I'm gonna Dremel away that stand by the space bar.
I would probably definitely consider that as well. If you really want to like optimize for flex, I really think that standoff needs to not be there as well.
I wonder if I could like ask the custom order one. We'll see.
I don't know.
But that
price seems a little on the high side, IMO, but it still looks like a very cool product nonetheless.
I'm gonna get it. I think the key thing is, will % increase their PCB quality? A lot of people had issues with the Canoe. A lot of people had issues with the Canoe. Some people had better PCBs with the Fanu than the Canoe. Which had some of them had different PCBs, some of them had the same. I'm not sure, but yeah. So hopefully those improve. That's the best thing.
Yeah,
We'll see.
absolutely. Percent has seemed to struggle a little bit with their PCs in the past. Not a whole lot of people are really loving them, to say the least.
They've struggled with a lot of QC, a lot of canoes for the U.S. market. I think if I put numbers together, were statistically worse for the Western market than the Asian markets. They did less QC for the Western markets, which is a bit unfortunate. I hope that changes and it gets equal treatment. Because quick anecdote before we go to the next topic. At the New York City meetup that I went to, that Input Club hosted with some other people, someone there had a canoe. I'm like, oh, this is my first time seeing one in person. Can I pick it up and check it out? And the guy's like, yeah, I love it. I built holy pandas. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. It was like a really dark gray case with like GMK calm depths. So it was really cool, right? So I started picking it up and moving it around my hands, to feel it. And I heard a clicking noise. I turned on, like, what is this clicking noise? He's fully screwed in the weight, and the weight had to wiggle. The accent on the bottom was wiggling and hitting the sides. And he's like, oh, it's always been like that. I'm like, that's bad. I feel bad to tell you. The canoe. The percents board.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, that's bad.
Unfortunate.
Like, that's really bad. Afterwards, I put it down. He had a sign on the board for the rest of the meetup. Please do not pick up. And I'm like, that was my fault.
Man. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, in theory, you could correct that in some way. Like you could put some kind of material like somewhere around the weight to screw it in a bit more tightly. But you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to.
Especially when you're paying that kind of price for a keyboard. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So let's move on to the next topic because you have a prototype of it, and it's polarizing, very polarizing.
It is definitely polarizing.
The HB85, HB85 by Gray Studios. I have the wrong link. This is the link for the components, so I'm gonna go
I put two links in there. The first one's for the board. The second one's for some extras.
I'm just gonna go. Everyone's gonna watch me navigate the site while you talk about it.
That's totally fine. So, like I was kind of showing off towards the beginning of the stream during the mail call, I do have the prototype of the HB85 here, so I will be able to build it up tomorrow and give some thoughts on it and do a little review later on. It's really, really unlikely I'll have the review out before the deadline because the deadline is like in like a week.
Good luck, dude. You know my struggle.
And they want me to do the ZF71 first, which also ends in a week. So, yeah, chances are I'm not going to be able to review both boards before they actually end.
You know my struggle.
Yeah, no, for real. So, that's a little unfortunate. But either way, I'll still definitely have some building thoughts, some first impressions on what I think of the board, etc. I'll have a very rough overview and a very rough review before actually doing like a really good review. So, it is a pretty interesting board, very polarizing, as Huey commented. It's a very strange aesthetic, but it's actually a lot nicer in person than I was expecting, if I'm being totally honest. When I first saw pictures of it, I was like, that's crazy. And then, when they actually posted this group buy and sent me one, I was like, oh, it's actually pretty nice. So, pretty excited to check this out. It is $345 US, and that'll be your case and your plates and your PCB.
Yeah. So there's three different layouts. There's the ASST, the basic, and the CAOP layouts. Or A, B, and C layouts. The STT, basic, and AOP layouts.
Yep.
I think they're all pretty cool.
I have the STT here.
STT, that's one I would get if I'm going to get one. I'm on the fence. I'm probably going to get one for my own review down the line. Color choices, bit interesting, IMO, but I think they're fine. So, big unique thing that I like with this board. I don't think it works with this board, but I like it has the option, which is the half plate. I actually think the half plate is a bad option for this board. To be perfectly honest, if I do get it, I will get the full plate. But half plate is available. I think that's a really nice option they have. Funny things, if you look at the PCB, that giant ass part of FR4 that goes forward for the port instead of having a daughter board, pretty funny looking, to be honest, on the PCB. Whether or not you care about PCB designs, who knows? Comes with a sheet of vinyl stickers, which is cute. I don't think you got one. Did you get one?
I did. 1 second. Hold on. It's actually quite adorable.
Zonda with that basic greater than AOP layout, greater than STT. Zonda, you don't like the STT layout. Interesting.
Here's that PCB. That funny, fun little.
So I will say, I actually think the AOP is the worst layout. I'd get the basic or STT.
Actually, I completely agree. So you get some adorable stickers. Look at these. Like, look at this one. That's just too cute, man. These are just way too cute. I mean, I'm not really a sticker kind of person. This is kind of silly to me. Like, I would never pay extra for this, but it's still kind of cool that they include it. Anyways, one thing I do like about this that you did not have on the Skog Lite, unfortunately, is you can actually mix and match your housing and your inner frame. So, love that. You do get some pretty cool options there. You get black, gray, silver, blue, green, violet, or red. And then you can, mix and match the two frames there to whatever color choices you want, which is freaking cool. I love being able to do that. This version... Wait, hold on a second. So this version comes with a full aluminum plate, but if you click on the other link that I provided here, that I will link in chat for the components, you can get extras, and the extras include things like the half plate. You can do a half plate or full plate in aluminum or carbon fiber. My review unit came with a steel plate, but they told me that's not going to be available during the group buy. They just did it for checking tolerances. So, I guess I'll have the only steel plate version, which is totally fine by me, because I'm like one of 3 people that actually like steel plates. But, yeah, pretty cool stuff there. You can actually get a stainless steel mid-piece as well in the extra components section, which is kind of interesting. That'll add a little bit of heft to the board, I suppose, because... otherwise this is just aluminum as far as I'm aware. So that'll be kind of cool. Gives the board a little extra heft. It's relatively heavy now. I'll weigh it on stream tomorrow, I'm sure, because people like that kind of thing.
Train out when you get a chance. I'm probably gonna get one, but Brian, it's almost 7:30, so we should hit that lightning round for the news.
Lightning round for the news. Wow. I don't think we've ever done that before.
So, lightning round for the news. Next up is the HS60 V2 Preorder, which is the hot swap 60% PCB, now included in the HHKB layout PCB, which, thank goodness, the original V1 only had standard 60% ANSI layout with the 1.25 times 3 with a 6.25 and then 1.25 times 4 layouts. It's a pretty cool PCB. I have a V1. This is a V2. Still no USB-C, but not too bad. It's $85, which is pretty pricey for a PCB. It is hot swappable. It does have in-switch underglow RGB LEDs. No underglow, though. It has the in-switch LED, sorry. Uses the STM32F303 processor. Overall, it's pretty pricey. $85 over on Dixie Mech for the US proxies.
I was talking to other people about this as well, and I was kind of thinking, like, is it really expensive, though? Because what competition does this have? What other 60% hot swap SMD RGB PCs do we have in them?
I mean, the last version was cheaper.
Okay. But still, what other PCBs besides the HS60 do we have on the market that has the same feature set?
While the answer is probably none or close to, what's that board? The one of the two you shifted I hate. And Pro PCB, GK, whatever, that you guys know of. Similar. That is probably the closest one. That PCB is like $20, $30. Otherwise, the closest thing with in-switch LEDs, no hot swap, is the Zeal 60, which I would rather pay the premium for a Zeal 60 over this for the better options of layouts, to be honest.
That's fair. That's fair. My point being,
but
this
you
has
are right.
Very little it has next to no competition.
And they have that right to up the price for that.
Yeah. Which is kind of honestly like how Zeal approaches a lot of things too. Like he's kind of the pioneer of a lot of things, and people are like, "Oh my god, it's so expensive," but like in reality, he has no competition with a lot of the stuff that he does. So like it kind of makes sense. So, but yeah, I mean, but hot swap is kind of the future. SMD RGB is definitely becoming more popular too. So seeing those things together is cool. It is a little bit more expensive than I'd like to see, but as more PCBs like this come out, it'll probably drive competition up and price down. So when vendors compete, consumers
win. Yep. So check it out when you get a chance. Even though I do complain and bitch about the price, I will probably end up still getting it to use and test out, because I think having an MX HHKB test board is great.
Same.
Moving on to our next topic, which is a little annoyance of mine, even though I didn't join the group buy because I'm horrible, is the Nexus Slider. Nexus Slider had some woes, so after a while, Blind Assassin, the group buy person, did say they got some sliders, there are some issues, and basically the TLDR is the group buy runner acknowledges their issues with the products. They're going to continue with production of the product that has issues because they don't want to pay for more corrections, which is understandable. But he will not be refunding anyone. Everyone bought the products assuming they're going to get a slider and top that they can just pop on top of their existing without needing to shave any additional plastic. If you want it to work properly, you are going to need additional plastic. You're going to need to shave additional plastic with, some kind of file, either electric or manual. You will not get refunded if you do not want to do that. I think that sucks. I think that's really unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but there's not a whole lot he could do about it.
Yes, it's a double-edged bad situation, right?
It's just a shitty part of running a group buy.
And it's even worse because this group buy, if you guys don't remember, Brian actually did cover this a while ago. About 25 to 35% of all participants in the group buy didn't pay their invoice. So when he was supposed to be paying the manufacturer, he could not actually pay the manufacturer because 25 to 35% of people didn't pay their invoice. They straight up were like, nah, just kidding. I'm not actually wanting this. I thought this was whatever, right? Which sucks for a Blind Assassin. I will definitely sympathize him there. And empathize him
he's
there.
A nice guy, too. So
he's really cool.
It's very unfortunate.
So it's kind of
thankfully, a lot of the people that have been replying so far are totally in support of what he's wanting to do and his decision to continue. So people are understanding, and that's really, really cool and very friendly, and I like seeing that.
Yeah, so
hopefully if there's an R2, then these will be corrected.
Yes,
but otherwise,
I'm really
most
hoping.
people that are going to be buying this kind of product are going to be okay, doing a little bit of work, just shaving down some of the plastic.
That's the main hope, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this shouldn't, it sucks, but it shouldn't be the end of the world here. It should, you should still be getting a usable product if you don't mind putting a little bit of work into it.
So this is a worthwhile read. I definitely feel for Blind Assassin. I support what he's trying to do here. I think he's trying to do something really cool. So hey, check it out when you get a chance. Next up, going back to Dixie Mech, something that honestly surprised me because of the price. The QMK Proton C pre-order, $16 US. To be perfectly honest, $10 less than I expected. So you might be wondering, Huey, what the heck is the Proton C? Why should I care about it? So traditionally, when you hand wire a board, a lot of people, thank you Dupre by the way for the Twitch Prime. Traditionally, when people hand wire a board or do their own DIY QMK projects, they use a Pro Micro, very simple microcontroller, very easy to work with. The Pro Micro uses a USB micro, annoyingly enough, not even mini, but micro, and it's basically like that top part of the Proton C. This is a microcontroller for a decent price that has USB-C port on it, and as well as an extra breakout for extra analog and digital ports. If you know what that is, you know that's awesome. If you don't know what it is, basically you can do more shit with it, like put more potentiometers or rotary encoders or a square wave chip on it. Yep, absolutely great, to be perfectly honest. It is, even at $16, while I say that's a good price for what I expected it to be, for $18 you can buy 3 Pro Micros. Just keep that in mind. But it has less pins. But it depends on what you need. If you need something with the extra pins, I think it's great. Honestly, I'm going to be ordering 1 or 2 because I can easily hand wire a full board and easily have 2 potentiometers to control volume or scroll. You guys will see. I have some cool projects with this in mind.
This is no doubt a cool product, and the price is reasonable. This is cheaper than a Teensy too, so that's pretty cool as well.
Teensies are overrated. Don't worry. Teensies are no one should get Teensies. No one should get TNCs.
A lot of people used to use TNCs
Because they didn't know anything
I
else.
the day.
Yeah, you remember.
A couple notes here. $2 of every sale goes to QMK.
Directly to QMK, nice. Which is really cool.
Very cool.
That's
very cool.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Why do you think that's cool? I don't know what that actually means. QMK, so it goes directly to Jack Humbert's pocket, because that's what I interpret that as. Because he is QMK.
That's fair,
right? I would like clarification.
I would like to believe that Jack's probably a good enough person to put that money towards.
No, I definitely agree with that. I believe that too, but I wish there would be more visibility in what actually QMK is, what they do with their money, because it's completely open source. I don't know whether or not they want to quote unquote open source the financials, as in let us know what they're doing. They're not a non-profit, they're a for-profit, so they don't have to do it. But the project itself is open source. Whether or not they 2 cents of every sale goes to Mech Merlin as their community outreach supervisor MVP, or all $2 goes to Jack and his idea to do the Android model of get market penetration and then charge everyone later. I'm not sure. But I just wish I did a little bit of visibility into what $2 of every sale goes into QMK means. I don't necessarily have any qualms of supporting QMK. I like QMK a lot. I just want to know what that actually means when I say when it says $2 goes to QMK. That's all.
Yep. Fair enough. Either way, neat product at a pretty good price. Like you said, you'll probably be getting one. I might be getting one as well. Good stuff.
Next thing, do we want to wait till after sponsor spot? After sponsor?
Yeah, after.
So, let's move on to our spots of sponsors. Of course, starting off, you guys need to check out Kono.store, aka Input Club. Actually, they're different, but I'm going to say aka because I'm lazy. Check out their ErgoDox 76. That's just started today. Highly recommend if you're interested in a split keyboard. One of the most popular split keyboards. It hasn't run for a while, aside from the ErgoDox Easy, which is really expensive. Tomorrow with the SA Symbiosis Group by N. So if you're interested in a really cool SA set, go for it. I will say this, they're very conservative with the timeline. They say it won't ship out until September 2019, so please keep that in mind. But it's a set like no other, to be perfectly honest. I will be honestly probably getting a set. And you may be wondering, Huey, you don't like SA. Why are you getting it? Because there's a lot of boards I have but don't use often that just stay on my shelf, and I prefer them look nice on my shelf. Judge me for all you want. Last but not least, of course, the Skog Lite. Check it out. We covered it earlier today. Plate mounts keyboard. And they have a lot of awesome other interchecks running, like their wrist rests, which I tried out, by the way, a prototype of their wrist rest when I was at their office the other weekend. It has a steel bottom plate, so their wrist rest is actually pretty hefty and doesn't move around. They're going to firm up the padding so it feels nice and good on your wrists. It doesn't move around when you type on it. So check out Kono.store and all the awesome, interesting things they have. And of course, they're my co-organizers for the NorCal meetup. Brian, who's next?
We got Z Frontier, who's got a lot of different things running right now. They got the ZF71, which I have here, which I will be doing a review of very soon. So that's something to check out. Pretty cool stuff there. And of course, like we've been talking about today on the show, the HB85 will be building that up tomorrow on stream, and putting some nice switches in here. I don't know what I'm gonna put in here yet, but we'll decide that tomorrow. They got that going. They have the Aurora 96 still going, and of course, I'm testing these UV printed, made to order ABS keycaps cherry profile. I got a couple sets in. I'll be throwing those on a board here shortly, trying those out. So yeah, made to order, very interesting. So definitely make sure to check that out. Prices are pretty darn good on all that stuff. So be there and be square.
Next up, we have also starting with Z is Zeal. Come on, guys, check out that V2 stuff. You saw my keyboard tours with those Helios and with those Zeal 6. You saw Brian. If you haven't got a chance, if maybe you're really busy with your life, watch at 2 times or 1.5 times speed on the background. Put Brian's 6-hour-long keyboard chores up, just on the background, 1.5 speed or 2 times speed, and, you know, slow it down when you get to really cool parts, but really, honestly, watch it. Brian does a lot with those switches, because a lot of people in chat really ask for them, and he gives you a lot of ideas about how the switches feel and what you can do about them. And both Brian and I are really liking the Zeal V2s. We haven't got the Xylens yet. We're looking forward to them, but honestly, at this point, I would highly recommend any of the V2 products if you're willing to put in some work in. How do you, Brian?
If the Xylens are as anywhere as good as like the normal Zelios, 100% agree, definitely. I think the Xylens are awesome. I think the Helios are also very good, but they're still undergoing a couple.
They are.
Before launch. But even still, like, they're pretty darn good where they're at. So if
you doubt their ability,
I'm excited.
Check out my typing sounds on the lubed Helios. When you put some work into it, amazing, absolutely amazing. Speaking of amazing,
I'm excited.
Brian, who else is also amazing?
Of course, and last but not least, we have novelkeys.xyz. Check out at this link there. They do lots of cool things. Got all those sweet new retooled Kale switches in stock. And of course, he also has a couple group buys going on right now. He's got the Violet on Cream SA. He's got GMK Chocolatier. And, you know, Mike, he's kind of been the pioneer of these custom desk mats lately, of course. So he's got the Serica desk pads from Zombimon there, and of course the Space Cadet is his newest design as well, along with lots and lots of others. So make sure to check that out, and while you're there, use promo code TOPCLACK to get you 5% off your entire order.
2 words.
You know, save some money. Yeah, TOPCLACK, 2 words. I know people like it when we say 2 words. People always give a shit for that, but I don't care.
And certainly last but not least, of course, like Brian said, all of you. TOPCLACK is not possible without the support of the community, without all of your subscriptions, all of your bits, every view you give us really does mean a lot to TOPCLACK. I know there was a big war earlier between Nebulant and Olivia about giving subs. Geo gifted a few subs. A lot of people gifted subs. A lot of people donated bits. Every little bit helps so much. And honestly, you know, this is my last episode, sure, but I'm very thankful that you guys will continue to support TOPCLACK, because I will be supporting TOPCLACK. Starting next episode, and I'm not here, you guys are going to be seeing, like, Man of Interest sub, Actually, I technically count as a sub without, like, doing anything, and you guys won't see it. But you guys will see Man of Interest bits in the bucket. Shot glass, actually. So, I mean, thank you so much, everyone, for every single donation, every single view, every single message on the Discord. I mean, this is cliche. Brian says it all the time, but it's not cliche. It means a lot. And anyone who puts out content or anyone who works with content creators know how much even a single view can mean to someone. And we appreciate literally every one of you, whether you love us or whether you have disagreements with us and you give us criticism. That helps us, and we want to be better for you. So thank you, everyone. And with that, I do have an announcement, but I need to use the restroom first. So, Brian, you can go distract people.
Distracting people, I'll use the restroom. Okay. So, I'm pretty sure we all know what Huey's going to be talking about when he comes back. If you guys haven't already, make sure you check out my article here, Farewell to a King, written by me. This is going over what's kind of going on with TOPCLACK. If you guys didn't know, Huey is leaving TOPCLACK. This was his last episode, and this is his last month at TOPCLACK. I go over a lot of the information in the article, so make sure to read that if you're curious. But, you know, Huey will be touching on what's going on and maybe what his future plans are when he gets back from the restroom. 40 ounces in, 40 ounces out. That's true. Huey's been drinking a 40 this whole stream, so that's probably why. I'll be drinking later on, you know, in memory of Huey with TOPCLACK. But you know, we're gonna see Huey off with a smile and our heads held high.
Mushy mush.
Mushy mush. Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, so I do have an announcement for everyone here. Let me switch to the 2-person view. So as a lot of you I'm sure know, this is in fact my last episode of Top Clack, and wow. It's been over 2 years that Top Clack has been running, and it's been a great time. If I had to pick out some highlights during my tenure at Top Clack, I guess it'd be, amazing guests like Hata, Ryan Norbauer, Cassie Williams, James Bardoff, the Euro Special, and many others. Other highlights would include, of course, Brian and I making our dual review of the COD 67, which was a great time. Brian's Seattle recap with Cassie Williams, and my own with Pudsey for the New York meetup. The rough scramble of Top Clack was always a fun and frenzied pace, and of course, it's not Top Clack unless something goes wrong. Through Top Clack, I've experienced wonderful moments with Brian, countless amazing guests, and a delightful audience, all of you, and a absolutely wonderful community. And after 2 years of change, my chapter here at Top Clack comes to an end. Through these last 2 years, I've worked diligently with Brian and Bektor when he was with us to bring amazing content to our community through live streaming and produce content. And I'm really proud of everything that I was able to bring to Top Clack, and I'm grateful to both Brian and Top Clack. It can be said that, my development as a human being these last 2 years draws strongly not only from the gradual changes I experience in day-to-day life, but from Top Clack as something that I do week-to-week, day-to-day. And as I continue my development toward a, self-actualized person, I really want to work on finding, fostering, and tapping into my full potential. And because of that, my future will look different than the one of Top Clack. And there's a future I envision, and I strongly desire this future of mine. And because of that, there's creative differences, and that creative differences means that I will need to part ways with Top Clack. There is no doubt in my mind that Brian and Top Clack will have a bright future and will continue to strive for greatness. And I will forge a new path for myself as well. I too will be yearning for a bright future, and I will continue to strive for greatness. I will not forget the wonderful friends, lessons, and memories of Top Clack. In these past 2 years, my development as a human being can greatly be attributed to so many positive aspects of Top Clack. So thank you, Brian, and even though you're not watching, thank you, Bektor, and thank you, Top Clack, and thank you to the audience for your continued supports, comments, criticisms, and all of that really keeps us going for everything we do. So you may be wondering, where's old Huey going from here? Will Huey still be involved with keyboards? Is everything all right, as I've been PM'd that question a dozen times this last week? Everything is hunky-dory with me. Everything is the bee's head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and I'll still heavily be involved with keyboards. Or am I going to go? I'll be working on keyboard content still of all varieties, but my new content will be finding a new home on my original channel, which will soon be seeing a refresh. There's a lot of work to do behind the scenes, and it probably will take 2 to 3 weeks for you guys to actually see any real content start to roll out. But regardless of that, I still hope you all continue to watch and support Top Clack in addition to my future works. I'll definitely be around in the Top Clack Discord, be watching future episodes, either live when I can do my schedule, or with the VOD crew. So, Brian, brother, the show is all yours. Take us away.
Wow. My heart hurts.
Your Kokoro, Doki Doki.
Come on, Doki Doki, Kokoro, yes. Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer. Obviously, Huey's been around for this whole time, and I have learned tons and tons and tons of stuff from him, and it's honestly because of him that Top Clack is where it is today. And he's always been a role model for me, and he's done a lot for both myself and Top Clack, and it's sad. It's sad to see you go, but like I said in my article, this is the end of an era, but it's also a new beginning. And people, I hope you guys stay with me. I hope you guys stay with Top Clack. I will be doing everything I can to keep Top Clack going forward and keeping on doing all the cool stuff. The live show is not ending. Live show is still going on. I'll be doing build streams. I'll be pushing YouTube content still. I'm working on a few different projects right now. I got really cool things that I haven't told you guys about coming in the future. And yeah, as far as new co-host goes, you know, people have been asking me that. I've gotten at least a dozen PMs in the last few days asking, you know, who's gonna replace Huey, or, you know, like, you need help with this and that, I can host. Like, I get it, guys. Like, I know it's not the first thing on my mind right now. There's a good chance that I will be getting another co-host at some point in the near future, but it is not immediately.
You guys don't know what it takes to replace me.
Yeah. No one's going to replace Huey. That's not how this works. But yeah, just like Huey will be, you know, doing his own thing, but still supporting Top Clack, I will be working on Top Clack and still supporting what Huey does. So, you know, while this is a parting, we're obviously still in the same goal of making content and trying to better the community through that content, and, you know, through the way that we do things. So hopefully you guys still stick with Top Clack while also sticking with Huey, and you know, you support both of us, and that's what both of us can hope for.
I mean, for those of you who may not know the dynamics, maybe you're newer, or maybe you just don't keep in touch with us, Brian and I really, like, are brothers. Like, even as I move to my future content, with all my future content, I'm still bouncing my ideas off Brian, and he's probably going to be bouncing a lot of his ideas off me. We feed with each other very well in terms of content in the community, because, you know, while we have our own creative goals and visions in mind, you're what matters to us, to be perfectly honest. Like, there's no reason Top Clack to exist. All of you. Sure, it originally did start as 3 guys, you know, hey, let's talk about keyboards once a week and just put it on a show because we're bored. It evolved from that, and evolved to, what do you guys want? What does it mean to you guys that Top Clack exists? And Top Clack still matters without me, because Top Clack is beyond Brian and I. Top Clack, you know, maybe it means something. Maybe I'm just being, you know, overly sensitive about it, but Top Clack is important, more than the sum of who I am and who Brian is.
Absolutely.
And that's why I believe if you like Top Clack, you should still support it. I do hope you also support my future endeavors. I mean, of course.
Yeah. There's enough space in this arena for both of us and more. There's lots of cool content creators in the community, and, you know, Huey and I splitting up, but still doing our own content is still going to be great, and you guys are still going to hopefully learn a lot, and it's going to be a really good time for all of us.
I mean, we're only splitting up in the terms of I'm not going to be a part of Top Clack. I'm still, like,
yeah,
Brian is still my best friend, one of my best friends, so it's just okay.
Mommy
so
and Daddy are getting divorced.
I know.
But we're still going to raise the child of our community the best we can, even though we won't be together.
So I didn't really, you know, address it in my exit. So a lot of people do want to know, and it was addressed in the Q&A for last episode. You know, so one of the big things is Top Clack features most of all Brian is working on YouTube content. Regardless, Top Clack is 85+% live content, the weekly show, and keyboard chores. That's most of what Brian and I have done and what Brian will continue to do. My future content will be 85% produced content as opposed to live content, and it'll be on a regular schedule, and that's why I'm going to be killing myself in the next couple weeks preparing it all.
Figuratively, not literally.
Figuratively, yes. And I saw this split, and I knew that I couldn't do both at once, and that's the creative difference. For anyone totally wondering why I use that vague term, creative differences, you know, what a lot of people use, because that's usually a politically correct term when they don't want to say something mean. But no, it's honestly what it is. I just want to do a lot of produced content, and that leaves me with very little time for live content. If I didn't want to do this, I'd still be with Top Clack. But this is a path I really do want to pursue. Brian supports my endeavors completely. I support him continuing Top Clack. You know, if you guys don't know, you know, Top Clack was set up originally as a partnership. I've succeeded all rights of Top Clack to Brian because I trust him in completion, in carrying out the mission of Top Clack, to educate, to entertain, to make sure you guys are more knowledgeable about the ins and outs of mechanical keyboards in the news, in terms of lubing switches, in terms of custom keyboards. Brian will be there for you, and maybe I'll be there occasionally from time to time as a guest, but I'll be working on a lot of my own contents. But we're here for the community. If anything, you guys should be witnessing this as a great boon, because the amount of content in the community is going to be double. There's Brian's content, there's going to be Top Clack's content, and there's going to be Huey's content. That's even more content for everyone, and from what I've seen in the keyboard community, there's no shortage of content. So,
yeah, it's going to be good stuff. This is not supposed to be like a sad thing, guys.
No, this is a bright future for everyone.
Yeah, this is a good thing, and it's going to benefit people even more than Top Clack alone already has. So we're definitely very happy for that, and now is a good time to roll into Q&A. So if you guys have questions for either of us about anything, now's the time to ask, especially seeing how it is Huey's last official Top Clack episode. And while the questions roll in, I'm going to open a fortune cookie, because I want to know what our future is going to be like. And for whatever reason, I'm going to rely on a fortune cookie to tell me that.
Fortune cookie.
You know, that's how it goes. I'm probably not gonna. I'll try it. Most fortune cookies I eat are like awful, so I'm not expecting much of it.
Waffle High, thank you for 4 months in a row of that tier 1 sub.
Oh, this is pretty apt. All right.
So, by the way, everyone, since I've finished my 40, I'm working on it's my chill down beer. It's a Stella Artois. But
chill down.
Yeah. Brian, what is your fortune?
Here is the future. Ask a friend to join you on your next voyage.
Oh.
Interesting.
Wow.
That is.
By the way,
that is my fortune, guys.
By the way, that was not planned at all.
No, you saw me break the cookie. Like that is just great.
Wow, what a time to be alive.
Autofocus, please. Ask a friend to join you on your next voyage. All right, this cookie wasn't very good. I'm not going to eat the other half.
Okay, so Violet is asking, Brian, do you have any plans to change the format of the show at all?
In the short term, no. I will continue the structure of the live show as it has been. And I will still be incorporating. I'll be doing as many build streams as I can. I'm really going to try to force a lot of build streams, just to get more of that live content out there. But as far as the format of the main flagship show, nothing is going to change dramatically anytime like in the foreseeable future.
Rumai,
it's still something I'm considering. But...
Rumai, you're asking, if it's not sad, why are you crying? You're not crying because it's over. You're crying because you're happy that it happened. That's why.
Yeah, it is what it is, but we're going towards a brighter future this way for everyone. It's gonna be great. Forza Crew as new co-hosts? No, probably not. All of you guys are awful. Kidding. I love you guys.
That was a better answer than you expected.
Oh, yeah. I should have grabbed a beer so we could cheers.
You can grab one right now since the questions are coming in slowly.
Can I? That's perfect. I'm gonna grab.
Go for it.
A beverage, and we can go out in style as our last duo.
HHKB for life. Am I planning on reviewing my 5251 beam spring? Possibly. Crobit, where's my 3203 plug? If you guys haven't checked out switchmod.net, 3203 is in stock, as well as 205 grade 0 and 3204. Crobit at switchmod.net has done a full restock of all lubes and is planning on keeping them stocked for the foreseeable future, assuming people don't buy too many. X65 plug. I got you on that. Guys, check out the X65. It's finally shipping. Yes, Gio. I don't even play Forza with you guys, but you're a part of the horrible Forza crew. I know that. Pudsey, thanks for joining so much. Enjoy work. Yes, any questions at all about Brian's future, about my own future, Top Clack's future. If you guys are in the area, NorCal meetup, by the way, very, very, very soon. Ooh, Chris McCain with a big question. Whose dog is better, yours or DQ's? I like yours better than DQ. I like yours better than DQ's.
Who was DQ?
Daquan.
Oh. As most of a lot of you Build Street watchers might know, I'm a real American and I always drink whiskey with my beer.
Yeah.
Says Boilermaker.
Lunar Sama, last keyboard purchases of the year. Do you mean the most recent or like the last ones we'll actually make before 2019 hits? If it's the most recent one, I don't remember, to be perfectly honest.
Last keyboard purchases of the year? Huh. I am not sure. I'm sure I will buy something before the year is over. Yeah. But I don't know what's in my immediate buying range. Maybe the Skog Lite. So I have a little bit of time on that one. Crobo was asking, where's the 3203 plug?
I already did it. I got it. Don't worry. I'm set with that.
Yeah, I got to admit I haven't tried it yet though, so I cannot comment yet on how
I've
much
done
I like it.
one switch last night, and I'm like, this is pretty good. So probably not later tonight because I've been drinking. I was gonna do like a whole batch of switches, so I'll probably wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of lubing in our future now that Novel Keys has sent us 19.
Now that this has happened.
Yeah, I wonder who else got stuff. I imagine Nathan Kim probably did.
Probably.
I wonder who else. Maybe Krellbit.
Maybe
it'll be interesting to see.
Chris Wires probably.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. It'll be very interesting to see. Since none of us know what any of it is, it'll be interesting to see what we all like the most, like what we agree and disagree on. All right, Bug Whisper asking, when will someone making Unit 00 themed plastic?
Never.
I don't know what that is.
No.
All right. Ooh, Poochzag says, can we say hi/bye to Giorgio?
I will see if he'll come to me.
All right, he will try to get the George. Speaking of Giorgio, is he a candidate for new co-host? Asked the Raging Asian. Well, that would be very interesting.
Come here.
Once he learns how to talk and he's interested in keyboard, we can talk about Giorgio's Top Clack partnership.
No, Giorgio. Okay.
NGB is asking, any word on prototype for Grid 600 from Z Frontier? So, yes and no. As far as I'm aware, we are still receiving Grid 600s, but they might not actually be prototypes. They might actually just be finished units. So, of course we can still review that, but, obviously it won't be before the group buy since it'll be part of the group buy. So a little unfortunate there, but it still seems like an interesting product, and hopefully we can still get those. Last I heard, only a couple weeks ago, he said that we're still getting Grid 600 units. Norwinto asking, how are we going to get our toxic fixed now?
When I put my
I guess
new,
I have to buy.
Yeah, either Brian buys
too,
toxic, or you guys just bother me when I put my new content out in the comments.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Krellbit asking, wait, what's the Novel Keys loop thing? I'm actually out of the loop. So Mike thought it would be interesting to send several community members a large bag of several different kinds of lube. I think Huey said there's 19 in there. And all the people that he sent it to don't know what any of it is. He didn't tell us, and he won't tell us what any of it is.
There's numbered.
Our opinions on them.
They're numbered 1 through 19. That's it.
Yeah, and so we have to test them. He sent us a bunch of switches to test as well. He sent us all this lube and these switches, and we're supposed to test them to find out what we prefer and what we don't prefer, why we like and why we dislike each one. And then he's going to presumably take all of that data from all the people and then decide on which ones he wants to stock. in his store, because obviously he's not going to stock 19 loops. He's probably going to stock like 1, 2, or 3. So that'll narrow down what he will be stocking. So I imagine he sent some to me, sent some to Huey. I think he sent some to Chris Swires, probably Nathan Kim. So a lot of the people that do a fair amount of lubing in the community and have a decent amount of experience. So that'll be interesting to see, honestly.
Any other questions for us for this extended episode? We're at 2 hours. My last episode. Yeah. Crazy how that works.
Well, while we wait for any last minute questions, Huey, cheers to you.
Hold on, let me get my mini, as I say, cognac.
Cognac? Are you gonna drink it?
Yeah.
You should drink it.
I will drink it with you.
Heck yeah. So, adorable little Remy Martin. That's great. All right, so cheers to you, my brother. Cheers to our brotherhood. Cheers to what you've accomplished on Top Clack so far, and cheers to your new content going forward.
Cheers to your bright future.
Oh, whoa, what the heck? I haven't had this beer yet before, so I was kind of taken aback. It's a bourbon barrel Scotch ale called Innocent Gun.
Ooh. Region Asian asking, can he donate to Toxic for you? Yeah, donate to Brian. Toxic.
Is it available anywhere?
MK.com.
I mean, yeah, if people are going to donate, then I guess I have no choice but to get it. That's totally up to you guys, though. Zondat doesn't use our tag, but he does ask, why is the keyboard logo a 40%? That's kind of funny, actually. I never really thought about it. We kind of just came up with this design with Outrage Pudding, who was our designer for a lot of things in the past. And we were just like, yep, that looks good. And that's kind of where we went from there. It's not intended to be a 40%, but I know obviously it looks like it is. Olivia's asking, please sing the Weeb with a Keeb song.
Ohio, Kwaiasu. Oh man, my goodness! That was 2017. Holy.
It's got to be earlier than that.
April 11th, 2017 was the last time I opened it, according to Google Drive. If you guys haven't watched the video, go watch the video. It's Weeble with a Key, Men of Interests on YouTube. It's embarrassing.
It's great. I'm probably 30 of those views, like pretty easily. I've definitely listened to it quite a bit. I think I know it by heart, actually.
I had to look up the lyrics again right now because I have no clue what they were.
C.I. Jansen asking the question that everyone's been asking lately: when is the CA66 review? So fun story. I'm gonna redo the whole review. Sorry, not sorry. The review, I basically finished it. I finished like 18 out of 26 minutes, and it's bad. It's just straight up bad. I'm not going to release it. I'm going to redo the whole review. That's all. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but that's often how
I don't want to give you guys I don't want to give you guys a bad review. That's it. Like it's a bad video. It's not entertaining. It's the educational part is too slow and slogging. It's bad. So I'm going to redo it all completely from the start.
Yeah, fair enough. It's better to release good content late than bad content on time, in my opinion. Krobit says, if Huey falls over again after getting smashed, I'll donate 100,000 bits.
Cool. Can you donate $100,000 bits now?
That's $1,000. That's $1,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Each bit is a penny. And and those of you who might not know, we actually get Top Clack actually receives 100% of the bits that you donate. So if you donate 100 bits, we get $1.
Give us something spicy like the X60. Wait, was the X60 review that spicy?
Not really.
I said I liked it. I said it was like, you know, the cool club you meet at the cool girl you meet at a nightclub, and like you wouldn't bring her home to mom, but like you dig her. Was the review? You're gonna bring her home, just not to mom. Like, I think that's pretty positive in my book. I don't know what kind of women you meet in your life, but for me, that's a pretty positive in my book. I don't think it was a spice. Maybe that analogy was spicy. Maybe the analogy was just weird as hell because not many people like that review. Because I'm weird.
If you want spicy reviews from Huey, you gotta watch his X-Mit Hall Effect review, his Essay Lime review.
Wait till my round 2 of the X-Mit Hall review because I got a second one. Oh, which I forgot to cover in the mail call. But
oh man.
Hold on.
Those are spicy reviews, guys.
So, I did say a long time ago, regretfully, I would give the Hall Effect boards by AcePad Hall another chance. It's been 2 years. So I got another one. It's high profile, all acrylic housing.
It looks better.
It looks way better. It is actually better as a keyboard. If I can plug it in, if I can get the thing in the hole, if you know what I mean. Oh, sorry for the sounds, everyone. It is legitimately a better keyboard. Yeah.
Olivia says, Huey, confess your feelings for Brian. It's your only chance. Tell him you ski des.
Daisuke.
Olivia's drunk.
She's been having rosé literally since 4 p.m. her time, and it's 11 her time now. I know she's been having rosé since then because I was like, "Are you having rosé?" And she was like, basically no comment. And I was like, "You're having rosé on a Thursday, not even Friday yet." And it's like 4 p.m. where she's at. She's not even done with work, technically. So yes,
Olivia goes hard.
Yeah, she goes hard.
She goes hard. I respect that. I respect that. Rosé all day. Oh boy.
Well, it's been a great time, a time and a half, as the cool kids would say on my time here at Top Clack. 2 years, 3-ish months. 3 months, yeah, 2 years, 3 months of here at Top Clack. And now it's my time to move on to a different arena, or the same arena but different, of keyboard content. Top Clack will still continue on doing amazing live content. This show every week featuring yours, Brian, and to be possibly in the future some kind of co-host that will be replacing this frame here, but that's to be decided by Brian in the future. I will be working on my own content. I'm not here to shill it out yet because I don't want you guys like follow things that aren't ready yet. You guys will see from me when things are ready.
Yeah,
if you guys
Top Clack will be shilling his content.
I mean, if you guys already know me, you guys probably already know where my new content's going to go and where and how. If you don't, just wait. It's going to be really cool, hopefully. A lot of refreshes are going to come up for my own content. Content here, of course, it's gonna be mostly the same as Brian says, just minus this frame here. So Brian's gonna need to work on moving his frame to the center and bigger because he's gonna be the A+ star of the show now, which I fully support in completion because Brian's awesome. So to everyone, I hope everyone has a wonderful time. Thank you so much for supporting Top Clack. I really hope everyone continues to support Top Clack, even in my absence, because I will be deeply supporting and rooting for Top Clack. When I'm gone from Top Clack, you guys will see me either sometimes in the live chat and sometimes commenting on the VODs, because sometimes they can't make the schedule because of my shooting. But, you know, I support Top Clack in entirety, as Top Clack will support me, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, as a one last final goodbye, thank you to everyone for making Top Clack so wonderful, not only to myself, but to Brian, to both of us, to Bektor in his time he was here. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported Top Clack and this whole enterprise, and making sure this was an amazing event. Thank you everyone so much for your support. Thank you for your comments. I'm Huey. I'm Man of Interests. I'm signing off, and I'm signing out. To everyone, have an absolutely wonderful time. I love you all.